Denied.
This regular meeting of the
Sorry,
San
we
Diego
lost
Water
your
District
microphone off. We lost your slip.
on Wednesday, January 17, 2024 at 5 p.m. So it's all right there. So you get it all. You almost missed the special meeting, but I saw you caught that up. That was good.
I'm feeling a little rusty in general today, so I'm gonna start, I'm gonna mess.
Allison, are you ready?
I am ready. Let's go.
Let me just, I'll let you know when it's go. There we go. We're ready.
Oh, do it again. So I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the San Diego Water District on Wednesday, January 17th at 2024 at 5 p.m. And with that, can we have a roll call, please?
Board Member Lyons?
Here.
Board Member Ehlers?
Here.
Board Member Hinsey?
Here.
Vice President Kranz?
Here.
President Blackwell?
Here.
Record will show that all members of the board are present. Please note that San Diego Water District board members receive an independent stipend of $100 for convening water district meetings pursuant to San Diego Water District Resolution Number 89-07. And for the record, we'll note that the Water District did hold a special meeting, and so the maximum the board will be paid today is $100.
Thank you. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving on to S4 Special Presentation and Proclamation. I see we have none. We'll move on to oral communications. Are there any speakers today?
There are no public speakers.
Great. Next agenda item is the report from closed session, but we did not hold one, so we'll keep moving. Are there any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes to the posted agenda, and then moving to the consent calendar, no items have been removed by the public.
All right, can I have a motion on the consent calendar, please? Okay, I see Board Member Lyons has moved. Is there a second?
I pushed the button, but
Oh, yeah, I don't see that. Okay,
there you go.
there we go. We have a second. Let's take a vote there.
That motion does carry unanimously.
Okay. Wow, this is another fast meeting here. Okay, so moving on, there are no items removed in consent calendar, so we'll move to the action items. We do have an action item tonight. That is the San Diego Water District Annual Financial Report for fiscal year ended June 30th, 2023. And may we have a staff report?
There will not be a staff report, but I will give you some opening comments before I turn you over to Shannon Ayala, who is with the auditing firm of Davis Farr, and she's going to provide a little bit of a background and the findings of the annual audit of the San Diego Water District for fiscal year 22-23. As you know, at the end of each fiscal year, we put together a report and work closely with the auditors to provide an auditing process that they can audit the books of the district. So Shannon, I'll turn it over to you to provide your findings.
Thank you. Good evening. As Mary mentioned, I'm here to report on the audit results for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2023. We issued an unmodified audit opinion on the basic financial statements on December 15th, 2023. That's the highest level of opinion that can be received on the financial statements, and it indicates the statements and footnotes are presented fairly and in all material respects in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. I'm happy to report that the finance staff was very well prepared for the audit, which helps to make our work more efficient, and we appreciate that. We do also issue a report called the Government Auditing Standards Opinion. That's also known as the Internal Control Letter. In this letter, it would indicate if there were any findings related to internal controls, and I'm happy to report that there were no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses in internal controls noted. And we did not have any audit adjustments detected as a result of our audit procedures. And we had no instances of non-compliance with laws and regulations that are direct and material to the financial statements. Lastly, I'm going to share a little bit about the areas of audit focus that we had this year. So our standard audit approach is to confirm all material asset and liability accounts, the cash and long-term liabilities. And then we analytically review the revenues and expenses. And then we had some areas of audit focus related to GASB 96. That's a new accounting standard for subscription-based IT arrangements. It's similar to the standard that we implemented last year, GASB 87 for leases. It just applies to subscription-based IT agreements. So we reviewed any agreements that the district had and determined that there were not any that qualified for reporting under GASB 96. We also did some testing on the investment in joint venture. So we recalculate the amounts recorded as the investment in joint venture and the changes in the revenues and expenses. We didn't have any adjustments noted during our testing. And then lastly, we reviewed construction in progress. So we looked at 100% of the projects of construction in progress, determined that they were actually still in progress and would result in a fixed asset to the district. And again, we had no exceptions noted as a result of our audit procedures. And with that, I can take any questions that you may have over the audit process.
Okay, I do not think we have any public comments. Do we have any board member comments or questions? Yes, Vice President Kranz.
On page 3 of the staff report, it talks about pension obligations and liabilities, and over the course from 21 to 22, our funded ratio seemed to drop a pretty good hunk, and I believe there are some accounting reasons for that drop. Is that correct? Not just accounting as in the numbers changed, but accounting as in there are new rules under GASB.
Do you want to go ahead? There are no new rules on pensions for this year, but GASB 68 was an accounting standard that was implemented about 9 years ago. And yes, that pension liability has fluctuated greatly between the past couple of years, primarily due to changes in investment returns for CalPERS. So I believe last year probably would have shown a higher funded ratio, and this year the liability increased significantly, and that's primarily due to large swings in investment returns for CalPERS.
Okay. And, well, it's not okay, but I mean, what can I do about it? I guess one of the questions is whether we're taking into our rate study consideration for trying to address that drop in the funded percentage, the ratio.
Yes, Vice President Kranz. Every year, we always take into account our unfunded liability. And I believe a few years ago, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, we had this board approved for a set amount to be paid every year so that we could reduce that unfunded liability. And we have been fortunate enough to be able to continue to make those payments. So we are continuing to work on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Board Member Ehlers.
And I think the other issue is that CalPERS reports, it goes into the books 1 year in arrears. So what you're seeing in this report is the large drop from a year ago. And in fact, probably the investment returns from the last year, the actual year, when reported next year 1 year in arrear, will bring it back up. So, right?
Exactly
that's
right.
probably the major factor here.
Exactly
So I
right,
know
yes.
Similar effects, obviously, same CalPERS for Encina wastewater, and we went through it in detail there.
Yep,
So-
exactly.
And I mean, there aren't many questions for an audit with an unmodified and no
Right,
findings. So
right.
thank you. Well,
Thank
well
you.
done, Mary. Well done, audit.
Thank you.
Yeah, my comments as well. I was, it is really hard to pick apart the numbers when, they came back so strong. I think you had that slide which showed all of the positives, which there are no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies, et cetera, or non-compliance. So, again, great job. Okay, so I think we need to move to accept the report as presented.
So moved.
All right, thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, perfect. We can take that to a vote.
That motion does carry unanimously.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for the presentation. Moving on to informational items, we do not have any this evening. We'll move to board member reports pursuant to AB 1234. And start with you, Board Member Lyons.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report.
I have nothing to report.
And nothing to report.
Okay. And then we'll move to general information, staff status reports, and the general manager report.
All right, nothing to report.
Okay. And with that, I think we are adjourned. Wow. Okay, 2 in a row here. Thank you.